Hi, I'm Sara Levin, the Artful Inker, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I've got this fall-themed True Beauty card to share with you. Let's get started. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be using the True Beauty stamp set, the bundle in fact, including the Organic Beauty dies to create this card. And those can be found in the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog for 2022-2023. I've got a piece of basic white, and I'm going to start with my soft succulent ink pad and ink up the stem and leaves that are part of the stamp set. And I've gotten a little messy with my inking, but it won't matter that I've left a little halo probably when I stamp, because we're die cutting and that's not going to show. Okay, and then let me get my little double leaf stamp here, and we're going to add a couple sets of leaves. Okay, and let's close this up. And next I want my Mary Merlot ink pad and this larger flower, and I'm just going to tap ink on, and you'll notice it picks up more ink here at the bottom than the top, which is great. So you get a little built-in visual texture, and we're going to do a couple of those. Now, if your ink pad is super juicy, you may want to ink your stamps on the Stamparatus using a sponge dauber so that you don't overload all of that fine detail in the stamp. And again, this halo won't matter. And then I'm going to ink up this little floral stem and add in here, give this a rub all over. I'm just trying to get all of my pieces, kind of maximize them on one piece of paper here. And then I've got this little small flower, and I want 2 or 3 of those. And then I'm going to use that same flower with some Cajun craze. And let's see if we can get a couple in here without stamping over top of something else. Okay, so I've got all of my pieces stamped. I'm going to use those Organic Beauty dies, and I'll be right back. So I've got my die cut stamped pieces, and then I've also die cut some Cajun craze and some of the gold foil sheet. Let's set those aside over here just a minute. And then I've also used that lattice die from the Organic Beauty to cut crumb cake. And as you can see with my piece, I've got 2 sides that don't have the frame on it, and that's okay because I didn't want the frame. And rather than trying to figure out just how small I need to cut this, you know, is it take an 1/8 off or a 1/16 or whatever, I find it just as easy, I'm just trying to see that I've got it lined up, to come back and cut that edge off, because I do want the loose edge on my final project. Now you could, if you want the frame, you can cut your piece a little larger than standard in order to have the frame size. So now we're ready to start and assemble. I've got a layer of basic white, and I'm going to go ahead, I don't know why I need to turn that over, just force of habit, and add dimensionals to that. Oop, that pulled up a piece of backing. Let's see if we can quickly remove that. And if, there we go. Occasionally that kiss cut isn't just a kiss, it's a full-on cut. For those of you all who use electric cutting machines, you'll understand that difference. Okay. And then I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals behind this piece just to give the center of it a little lift. I don't know if you can see here, but it's a little bowed from the die cutting, which is fine. I do want the lift. If you'd rather have it adhered completely to your basic white piece, you could cut it with adhesive sheet attached and then just peel off the backing and attach it to your layer. Okay, so there's that piece. And then I'm going to use my stem piece here as a kind of guide for my layout. We won't see much of the stem once I'm done, but it is a great way to guide what I'm going to lay out. And then I'm going to cut just a little edge piece off of my mini dimensionals here. I hope you save the frame pieces and use them. As you can see, I do. And then we're just going to add that to the stem here to give that a little bit of lift. And let's bring this. And as I said, I'm going to kind of use this as a guide for my flower placement. And we're back to dimensionals here. Okay. And I'm just going to lay this in place first, and I want to tuck in some of these other pieces that are going to give us some of the dimension. So I've got this piece stamped in the crushed curry, and I'm just going to add a little bit of multi-purpose glue. Got a little carried away with that, and I want to tuck that down here and give that a press. And then I'm going to come in with this little piece in the Cajun craze. Same thing, give it just a little bit of glue down at the end. I'm not looking to adhere the top of it. I like that it that when you don't come all the way down, that you get that little bit of lift in that top portion, which adds some dimension. And let's go with this piece. Same thing. Add a little bit of multi-purpose glue. And move my big flower. As I said, I'm using it as a little bit of a placeholder to, I probably shouldn't have stuck my leaf down. Let's lift that gently and tuck this in here on the side. Okay, and now we'll add our little bits of gold. Love a little blingy accent, and this works just great as a kind of embellishment also, almost, with the little bit of gold. Oops. Okay, and one more. And we're just layering up pieces. I do like layers. Give that a push a second. Okay, and now we're ready to add this flower. And before I push it down completely, I'm going to take a set of these leaves and tuck them in at the top. Oops. Okay. Want to have them peek out here. Okay, and let's go ahead and add our dimensionals to the back of this flower. And I'm just going to do the same thing and kind of put it in place before adhering it so that we can tuck these other pieces in and around and then push that down. So we're going to come in here with this little bit of gold, give that a push down on this lower part here, and then I want some of these flowers. Let's take this couple and add a dimensional behind each one of these. Oops, pulled the backing off. Okay. And I'm just going to come right in here and tuck. And then tuck this one right with it here. Okay. Maybe bring this one down just a smidge, so you see a little more of that crushed curry. And then I want my leaves. Okay. And leaves are going to tuck in here. And as you can see, that covers up that last bit of that stem that was there. Okay, and we're ready to pull these off and get this in place. Now I'm not going to give it a hard push yet. I want to tuck in and be able to move pieces if I need to. So I want this down at the bottom here. Let's lift there. And of course, since it's not stuck all the way, it's easier to be able to get in there. And then these last two flowers need dimensionals. Whoops. And I'm going to stick this one up top here. Give it a little twist to the side. And give this one a little tuck in here. And I think I want a second dimensional under this side. Let's see if I can pull that up. It's pushing down just a little too flat, and I don't like it. So there we go. Okay. So let's put this on our card base, and then we've got just a couple more little things to do and our card will be finished. Oops. Oh, we'll put a fresh one on there. I put the wrong side of the backing paper back on, so let's put the right side on and we're all good. Okay, so line that up on my grid paper. All of today's products are available in my store at shop.theartfulinker.com. And we still need a sentiment, so I've got a strip of crumb cake. Let's see. Not quite a straight piece, which is why I flipped it over. And I've got my sentiment, and I'm just going to tap on the crumb cake. And I'm going to eyeball. Oop. There we go. It says just because. Let's close up my ink pad. And I need to trim this. So I'm just going to pull this same trimmer back in here and eyeball even spacing. And now we need some dimensionals on the back. So let's see, where's that J? We need a single over here. And then I think we're going to need a double in the middle. And we're going to need a triple out at the end. Okay, so there's our sentiment stacked up and ready to go. And then we want a little bit of linen thread. And I'm just going to wind this back and forth to create a kind of multi-loop fluffy bow. And tie this around. And stick this through. Let me make sure I've pulled that well. And then I want to cut this and pull that loose. And I need mini glue dots. So I'm going to add a couple of mini glue dots right behind the knot here, or semi-knot, which will keep that from moving around. And let's leave that sticky side up a moment. And we'll put this and this in here. Okay, and there's our True Beauty Just Because card. Thanks for stopping in today. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your card making friends. When you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell, you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. Of course, you can see close-ups of my card using the link in the description below the video to hop on over to the blog post. And have a great day. See you again soon. Bye.